What is up, fellas? Madden NFL 2004. The boys heading towards the stretch, hopefully the home stretch for this team. Not in the perfect positioning for the playoffs. Taking a look at the standings, going up actually against that 11-2 Chiefs team. For some reason, they are not in the first place in all of the AFC. That doesn't make a lick of sense to me, but it's Tom Brady's and the boys, and Marvin Harrison and company. It's a very good offense, but a 7-6 Falcons team. We're in playoff positioning. However, at the same time, there's about 3 or 4 teams also with 7-6 record. Not only that, we have the Buccaneers in our division who are also 7-6. Panthers right there, 6-8, and we know we lost to them earlier on in the season. Taking a look at everything, especially with this game against the Chiefs, a huge game. Tom Brady right there, and I think Marvin Harrison is also in the MVP race. Number 1 right now, man. 2 straight years of 1,000 yards on the ground, and he's a quarterback as well. So that just tells you the role he's had. Joey Porter having an impressive season. Tom Brady with 28 touchdowns through 13 games so far. Now with his 14th against us. AHMAN Green getting it done for a Rams team in which Tom Green ended up getting it done as a MVP the previous season. But Offensive Player of the Year is going to be AHMAN Green, most likely. Defensive player makes sense. If Joey Porter is going to be number 2 in all of the MVP race in football, he should be number 1 for Defensive Player of the Year. Julian Peterson's right there, Ray Lewis, Brian Dawkins and company. Taking a look at the rookies, you get another running back for the Texans who they've relied heavily on because they had Larry Johnson, who's a rookie out of Penn State at this time, getting Rookie of the Year before they make the playoffs last season, just sneaking their way through. The Texans are right here at 9-4. Again, just great positioning for this team. We're going to take a look at the matchup here against the Chiefs. We are in Kansas City. We play the Rams actually in a week or 2 after this too. So, I mean, it's been impossible to beat the Rams. So, to me, it was like I need to play this game because I pretty much play like every 3 or 4, 1 out of every 3 or 4 weeks in these fantasy franchises. But overall, it's supposed to be a better team. We're here in Kansas City. 7-6 Falcons against this 11-2 Chiefs team. If we can do pretty well against their passing attack, which has obviously been the most difficult thing to do in all of playing defense in Madden NFL 2004, we know it's an offensive game. At least they produced it that way. The engine works well for the offense, breaking tackles and whatnot, but my God, is it fucking difficult to play defense, especially when you have a Rams team with AHMAN Green at running back, Randy Moss, and Terrell Owens at wide receiver. Now we get to deal with the likes of, I believe, not only Marvin Harrison, there's some other wide receiver on this team. I don't remember it, but Donald Driver. Speaking of wide receivers, he drops the ball way too much. I have a feeling we'll have to see how this season ends, but really just looking at it, he's cost quite a bit of money too. I know he's the highlight player for this team. He's going to have to be the dude besides Jeremy Shockey. Those 2 dudes help in already improving Mark Bulger in this offense. Already have LaDainian Tomlinson and probably the best offensive line in all of football if they're healthy. They've had a problem with the durability issues. But here we go. Start off the game. Incomplete pass by Tom Brady. Defense isn't getting all too much pressure. Nice tackle by Donnie Jones from the Travel Channel. And it's just unfortunate. I mean, you got Fred Taylor now in this offense as well. You can tell which kind of GMs are ran with these type of teams. I'm sure the Chiefs have a decent offensive line as well. But hey, fortunately enough, end up getting a failed 3rd down conversion. Going to be Falcons ball. LT trying to get a little bit of control in this game. Starting off with a couple running plays. Nothing having it. Pass out to Donald Driver. And he drops it. Again, it was just one of those luck of the draw. It's just depending on a lucky play. And speaking of a lucky play, Mr. Al Wilson out of Tennessee, linebacker for some impressive Broncos defenses in the mid-2000s, late 2000s. But it appears, though, that Mr. Fred Taylor's knee was easily down. I think both knees were down before he even let go of the ball, and it's easily going to be reversed. In that one, there's no point of waiting an extra minute for the game to play out. It's not dramatic, fellas. Sorry, EA, it's not dramatic for me to watch, another minute of this shit. I already know what the call is going to be, and Mr. Price, Fisher Price, gets a first down on that one. He's another impressive wide receiver on this team. I think it's like Peerless Price, in addition to a Marvin Harrison. But we haven't seen much Marvin Harrison so far. We've seen a decent amount of Fred Taylor. But, fortunately enough, no Marvin Harrison. And I'd have to say it's correlated with the fact that this team has not done much on offense. This Chiefs team. And then, unfortunately for us, not much having on offense for this Falcons team. And then a huge, huge return by Mr. Sharp. Going to be tackled by Mr. Bolden, Isaiah Bolden, our third string cornerback. And all that's going to do is just help the likes of a Fred Taylor. And obviously one of the MVP candidates, Tom Brady at quarterback. And Fred Taylor is going to just continue running over this team. Big momentum off that punt return. And it's not like we needed to deal with any bit of that shit by any means whatsoever. The offense is too good. I don't feel all content with having to deal with it like this. We need to get more points through our offense, but a nice sack by Javon Curse, the freak out of Florida, and a man that maybe I should not have drafted him. It's another dude like Donald Driver. Maybe I just drafted too high at that kind of position for that kind of player. Richard Seymour makes sense, but just not Javon Curse, even though it's one of my favorite players. He just hasn't panned out that well. I don't think he's had double-digit sacks in any of these first 2-3 seasons with this Falcons team. And you need that now today's game, but not when you have a lot of teams that apparently in simulation run a lot of rushing plays. And that dude really, let's be honest, Javon Curse, you're a beast, one of my favorite players of all time. But a Richard Seymour is going to do better than that. But again, Richard Seymour probably was one of the first DNs drafted in the fantasy draft at this time. Going to be our team on offense this time around. Jeremy Shockey getting things done, not only with the catch, but after the catch. Only 3 points surrendered on the previous drive for our defense. Wonderful job by them against an MVP candidate team. Mark Bolger pass into Donald Driver. I was talking shit about him, but he's helpful in that situation. 7-3 now, a nice lead, but Fred Taylor is going to be making moves. And it does help when your defense is doing the Ole and pretty much playing like similar magnets to each other and pushing off and whatnot. But Fred Taylor down the field, over pursuit by Chris McAllister. Man who's easily the highlight player on this defense and playmaker on defense. It sucks, but it is what it is. Donald Driver with a nice catch right here. So he's getting things done. Mark Bolger has been consistent throughout all of this. And then Mark Bolger injures his ankle. You'd imagine, I'm scared shitless at this point because 7-6 team. Do we just see how the rest of this game pans out or get the injury news? But apparently our backup's just going to throw a touchdown on the very first play after that. Jeremy Shockey with the completely whiffed, desperate last attempt at a tackle by the defender on the Chiefs. And we got ourselves a lead yet again. 14-10. A little bit of fireworks in the second quarter here since that slow start for both offenses. And this Tom Brady team, of course, what's a 2-minute drill without Tom Brady having the opportunity to make points out of it? And then Mr. Fisher-Price is going to get it done. Brewer, backup player to Tabucky Jones. Got 82 speed. There's no way he's catching up to a dude who's got 95, 94 type speed. Speaking of 94 speed, Mr. Williams, a dude that I wish we could improve his catching, but it is what it is. Mark Bolger's back, thank God, so this game is going to be competitive again. And when I say that, you can hit a man with that speed, Mr. Hakeem. At wide receiver, he doesn't catch the ball consistently at all whatsoever. You can't depend on him at all. And yeah, that's the other, just forgot about him. Plaxico Burress, when he was on the Steelers at the time. Nice tackle right there. Only chased down by Ed Reed. And then later on the drive, incomplete pass on 2nd and goal. This is going to be a huge opportunity for this Chiefs team to get points. And what a defensive stand after what was a huge play by Plaxico Burress. 21-20. 30 seconds left in this first half. Mark Bolger's going to just toss it deep to Donald Driver. And what a play by him. Honestly, what a game so far. And then with 23 seconds left, big pass out to the other playmaker on offense. Beautiful catch by Jeremy Shockey. 7 more points before the half. We get the ball first here in the second half. That's just the thing. Just take shots, fellas. This is a video game. When you play video games like this, take fucking shots. If that long pass on like 1st and 2nd down that you attempt to do doesn't work out, then just run the ball on 3rd down and try to get a little bit of clock off. because at that point, 30 seconds. You just got to take advantage of it. It's kind of like a 2-for-1 drill at the end of a quarter in the NFL. Again, thank God these guys are slow as molasses because Mark Bulger gets it done here on third down, scrambling for a first. And then later on, what a move. What a move. Make that 2 touchdown catches by Donald Driver. But look at this move by Mark Bulger. Making a 2-step on the side by Mr. Mark Bulger. I think he went to West Virginia, if I'm correct. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I could easily just look this up myself. Not only online, but in this game. But whatever. It is what it is. 35-20 at this point. Second half. Believe it's still third quarter. Yes. Third down conversion failed for that offense. Going to lead to Tom Brady and Fred Taylor and them getting the ball again. But third and long later on in the drive. And it's going to be a nice play by Chris McAllister, who really has been stepping up lately to help this team in general. He's just playing like the player we drafted him for. And, that's what you get, right? You got to play these teams, especially try to beat the likes of a Rams team. Man, if Westbrook was getting that ball instead of a play action, that looked like a touchdown up the middle for Mr. Brian Westbrook. Then a pass out to Mr. Hakeem, going to be dropped, but I think if anything, it was just a failed attempt to catch that ball by me. But however, though, Jay Feely is feeling it. It's going to be right down the middle. 3 points, 38-20, 7:45 here left in the game. Marvin Harrison, I believe that was the first catch of the game by Marvin Harrison. A man who's easily got, one of the best receiving stats, and he's got him in the MVP race. And Ed Reed picks off Tom Brady. What's new? Pretty sure the Ravens have had a decent history of facing Tom Brady and Ed Reed and company. I mean, the ball hawking is one of the best players of all time in Tom Brady. It's a nice little matchup right there. And again, it helps having Ed Reed when you have the likes of a Chris McAllister as well. Can't really get beat off the top because, hey, however much we'd like to beat off, we don't want to be beat off the top. And that's going to pretty much seal the game, fellas. Jeremy Shockey, decent game by him. He did have a touchdown reception. Donald Driver over 100 yards, 45-20, 8-6 team. Should be looking at least trying to get a win against the Buccaneers, and I think that should seal the division. As always, fellas, huge win here against 11-2, and look forward to next time for the boys.